Hi, I'm Tailspin96. Welcome back to the iOS 6 Simulator Devlog series. Today we're just going to be going through the project in its current state. I'm going to explain the keybinds, what's implemented, what needs to be fixed, and what we plan to add in the future. So when you open the project, you'll be greeted with this, maybe not in this exact layout, but probably with a black screen and some buttons visible around the outside. This is just the home screen when the device is in a locked state. To get started, just hit play on the project, and Unity will do its thing, load on the assemblies, do whatever it needs to do. You'll see some apps, the top one in the top disappeared, and we have a music app down there. That's part of the app switcher. So first step in using a device is turning it on. So to turn the device on, the power button is currently bound to the backspace button. So just press that, and you can see the lock screen opens up. It's currently 2:18 where I am in Australia, and the date is Saturday, 20th of April. So this syncs with the host computer's current time. So if I was to change the time on my computer, the project will reflect that. As always, to unlock on the older devices, you grab the little slider with your mouse, click and drag to the end, and we're in. Welcome to the simulator. So we're on the home screen now. As you saw the animation, the page that we're on zoomed in. That actually works depending on what page. So if I was to click and drag to the left to go to page 2, and I was to unlock the device, whatever's on page 2 will zoom in. You will not see what's on page 1. So if you're on page 2 and you want to go back to page 1, you can either, as always, just drag across, or you can press the spacebar, which is bound to the home button. Pressing it will return you back. Double clicking the spacebar will open up the app switcher. It's a little slider. This stores all your recent apps sorted from left to right. Obviously there's nothing there, so if I was to close the app switcher, let's say I open the app store, it will open up a blank page because I have not developed any apps yet. Everything is just blank. That will come in the future. As you can see, the bottom could not be loaded because it does not exist. So when you open the app switcher again, you'll see that the app store is there. To go home from an app, as always, press the home button, and you'll see all the apps zoom in. To force quit, you just press the little minus button. We do plan to add the wiggle mode that iOS devices have, where you click and hold on an icon and it starts wiggling. That, in the app switcher scenario, will show the minus button. Now you can see on the side, in the scene view, there are some more apps or little buttons. So clicking and dragging on the app switcher will change the page. We have the music app. These 3 buttons in the middle, which will serve as music controls when an MP3 player of sorts is implemented in the project at a later date. And the final button would be like the rotation or portrait orientation lock. Now, I'm not sure if this feature will be added, considering this is just a Unity project. So maybe in the future it will add some sort of rotation system. But for now, that might just be left blank, or we can just completely repurpose it. Also, going across one more page, we have the AirPlay menu and also volume. Now, by default, when you open the project for the first time, it will more likely be at 0. So you wouldn't hear the unlock sound when you open it for the first time. To change the volume, you can either, as always, just click and drag the slider, and that will save the volume. It will also save it to player prefs, so it's continuous against each playthrough or each time the simulator is run. If you want to change the volume via a button on a computer, for this simulator specifically, it is bound to the plus and minus, or the minus and equals key. So the one in between 0 and backspace on your keyboard. Pressing those will increment the slider, as you can see. We are planning to add a little thing that pops up in the center of the screen showing the volume symbol and how far it is. This actually increments the same as a normal iOS device or macOS as well, by 6.25 if you didn't know that. So the way that is calculated is there are 16 boxes, divide 100 by 16, you get 6.25, and that's what the increment is set to. The AirPlay menu, you can click the button and it will change to say it's on, but it's not actually on. It's not been implemented, it's just a button. And pressing home closes the switcher. That needs to be fixed though. When the switcher is closed and you're not on the first page, you can see it side. I might have to adjust some timing for that, but that's mostly what's been implemented. What we plan to add is obviously the MP3 player that's here. I would like to add some more apps. So some stuff won't work until a much later date, like messages. The phone probably won't work. There might be like a modified version of it, so maybe like some voice chat system. iTunes and App Store, you won't be able to download stuff. You would have to add it yourself when third-party apps are added to this project. Notes and all that sort of stuff will hopefully get added, and it will just be stored on the host machine. But yeah, that's basically what's been added in the system. In the next video, which will hopefully come next week, I will be going through adding some more stuff to Springboard, maybe like freshening up some animations, or maybe fixing some bugs, or adding some new features to Springboard itself. Also, if you don't know what Springboard is, it's just this. I'll attach a Wikipedia article in the description or in the pinned comments if clickable links aren't working. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And oh, there was one more thing I never mentioned, and that was what happens if you want to put the device to sleep. Well, as always, you just press the power button, which is backspace.